Trippie Redd said he feels like he's the last of his kind.
Everybody from my era is gone. They all passed away. Was the last one. They was kind of before.
And you said it. You're the last person in your generation.
Despite having 22 platinum records, plenty of hits and numbers, a lot of talent, a loyal fan base, and one of the biggest SoundCloud songs ever, Trippie is seen as beyond washed. But how did he get here from being the only one who made it out of his era relevant and alive? A series of mid-albums, cheating, scamming, Instagram antics, biting styles, and becoming very fat have made fans question his status. And of course there's Uzi and Ski from the SoundCloud era, but they never really were the same after 2018 anyway. Speaking of which, it's crucial to understand the era Trippie came up in.
Yo, it's Playboi Carti.
The SoundCloud era of rap, which was roughly 2015 to 2019, was revolutionary for hip-hop, characterized by raw, unfiltered music released independently on SoundCloud, which is a free app to upload music to. It doesn't cost anything like Spotify. And this era definitely had a big impact on the future of rap, allowing underground artists to bypass traditional industry gatekeepers and build massive followings organically. Image has always been a big part of selling your music, but this was the era where basically the image became more than the music for the first time. It was common for a lot of these rappers, especially like Lil Pump, to do all these antics to get themselves a bigger buzzing. Same thing with the face tattoos and the bright colorful hair. And while being a certified crash out later in life, Trippie Redd actually didn't do too much on Instagram that was as bad as like 6ix9ine or Lil Pump. And what's important about this is people like Juice WRLD and XXX died. E-Mask and Uzi fell off. Trippie had some big standards to live up to, working with XXXTentacion, and now he's doing the thick of it with KSI, and I know some people are still gonna say he didn't fall off. But what's important is, despite all his numbers, Trippie Redd was never really the biggest in the rap game at any point. Believe it or not, the first beef Trippie ever got into was with 6ix9ine, and he lost, kind of. I don't really care about that one though. One of Trippie Redd's oldest and most memorable beefs though was with Lil Uzi Vert. Trippie's first critically acclaimed album, and the one that really shot him into the mainstream, was A Love Letter to You, the first album in the Love Letter to You series, which most fans from both Uzi and Trippie can agree he was biting Uzi's sound, especially on this hit single from the album, Love Scars. Trippie would then see Uzi's parody called Love Scars, and Trippie would immediately turn to Instagram to finna crash out about it.
Studio like, hey, I want to sound like Dex today. Oh, I Dexter, yeah. No, I don't do everything I do is to better myself and better my career. It's not to belittle myself or manipulate myself and make me seem like a meme or a clone or none.
As a massive fan of the genre, I can admit hip-hop is mostly for an image, and the best image you can have is that it's a trendsetter. That's why rappers who start trends have more respect than rappers who ride them. On one hand, it left a stain on his legacy, but it also blew him up. Love Scars wouldn't pop off until after the drama with Uzi, effectively blowing him up. Trippie used this buzz to charge $300K for a feature and $500K for a show not long after. Drake is a name you hear brought up with every drama rap video ever, but his beef with Tripp is a little strange. Everybody and their mom knows God's Plan off of Drake's album Scorpion. It went #1, and the album is still one of Drake's most streamed songs to date. I bet you didn't know Trippie Redd was originally going to be on that song, but was taken off because he claims a DJ played up the first couple seconds at a club and was told to shut it off, basically to impress some girls or whatever. Drake was not happy and took Trippie off the record. After that, they made amends and they hopped on Trippie Redd's best album, Trip at Night. The song Betrayal had a music video of them playing Pokemon or something, but this beef not only lost Trippie Redd a diamond record, but it would lead to his worst beef of all time. XXX by far, in terms of streams, is the most successful rapper from the SoundCloud era, but there are two main styles that Trippie did both of, but X was just better in his rapping and more screaming, but also singing very emotionally and magnificently. X had him beat on both. And even though Trippie Redd was never officially on God's Plan, X and Drake had a beef for a completely different reason. While X was in jail for, I forgot, Drake was making his playlist More Life, which is actually an album. X's breakout hit single song, Look at Me, did crazy numbers on SoundCloud, and Drake uses the flow for his song KMT while X is locked up.
Demon just got out.
He doesn't let that slide and makes comments about Drake's mom, and Drake even dissed him after he died. And there's rumors Drake put a hit out on him. X and Drake really just did not like each other. And Trippie Redd, working with Drake for the original God's Plan, lost Trippie one of his most valuable connections, given Tripp was the only feature on 17, a very personal album to X. But after that, Trippie would switch up and say X was his twin brother after his unfortunate passing. Trippie's actual thoughts on X can't really be found, but this proved to his fans in the community that he's not genuine. But the final nail in the coffin wouldn't come for a little over a year.
Yo, it's Playboi Carti.
Carti is probably the only rapper besides 21, I guess, to still be popping from the SoundCloud era, despite not even dropping that much. One night, Trippie would preview a snippet for a song, and Carti got on by popular demand. The song blew up and was kind of the song for the year, the song being Mr. Rage, and they were even planning a collab project. The songs of theirs obviously never came out because it was Carti, but the ones that did leak would be showered in the take that Carti washed Trippie. And even though Carti has a bad habit of abandoning people he no longer needs, this was kind of on Trippie because Carti would preview his clown aesthetic for his album Whole Lotta Red, and so would Trippie Redd, but he didn't make Whole Lotta Red and he didn't need to do the rollout for it. On top of that, Trippie would give uncleared Carti features from their own songs to other people on the label, or sometimes even just his friends. And at this point, he made too many enemies. In the public's mind, he was seen as nothing more than a biter, despite how versatile and revolutionary his music was for the time, and still is. But when your whole aesthetic is you just being a kid and being rebellious, and you just get older, you can't use that anymore. But Trippie Redd has been taking a break from music, having gotten a full album since 2023 by himself, so maybe he should return and show us why we care about Trippie Redd.